Are y'all ready to get this started?
Let's go.
3, 2, 1.
Let's get it. Here we go.
Sit your ass down and get ready for the next episode of the Urban Green Room. The Urban Green Room. With your hosts, my girl AA and that dude D. Lewis.
Hey everyone, it's your girl AA.
No, it's your man D. Lewis.
And we are back at it again in the Urban Green Room. And tonight we have a special guest. So we have the ladies of Belle Publishing out of Oklahoma City with us. And first of all, let me back up. The accomplished ladies of Belle Publishing.
Thank you.
Not only are they entrepreneurs and publishers, but we have poets in the house.
Yeah.
I like the spoken word goddess in our house. And I had the pleasure of meeting them earlier this year, pre-COVID. It just seems so far away.
Yeah,
Like a long time. But back in February, they put on the Black Authors Expo in OKC. And when I tell you OKC turned out, they turned out.
Is that better?
So we were in the house. So first time at OKC for D&I. But not only that, but we got to meet these two beauties who were nothing but blessing us with the brand and showing us what Belle Publishing was about, displaying their authors, but also allowing other authors like myself to shine too. So it was a wonderful time, and I can't wait to get back to OKC next year. But for now, let me introduce you to Miss Kenyatta and Courtney of Belle Publishing. So welcome, ladies.
Thank you. Appreciate that introduction. That was
Yeah, well, hey, the fact that you write poetry and it's so beautiful and it's erotic, you got me at hello. So, and you're entrepreneurs, so it's not just Belle Publishing that you have. There's a couple other businesses that you currently run. So why don't you ladies take a moment, tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Okay, I'm going to let Courtney go first because although it seems like we're doing a little bit of moving, we're trying to get comfortable. And we realize these chairs are not very comfortable. So she's going to go first. Go ahead.
So I'm Courtney Strickland. I am co-owner of Belle Publishing LLC with Kenyatta. We started that in December of 2018. We have released 11 books now. Since December of 2018, 3 of them being our own. We are working on our 4th erotic poetry book. So we do mainly erotic poetry. Erotic poetry isn't our only lane, but it is our favorite. We know it sells. So yes, that's what we love to do. But I'm also co-owner of AFTP Heating and Air with my husband. So I do kind of administrative things for that side of the business, and a mother to 2, 20-year-old and a 15-year-old. So thank goodness now that they're older, I can be a little wilder and and express myself a lot more without toddler ears around to repeat it. So yes, that's it. And mainly, and I do the editing for Belle Publishing. So
okay,
I do the editing for that.
Well, congratulations on the next book that's coming out. I can't wait to get that copy.
We had to do quarantine. It's called Quarantine Chronicles, actually.
Oh.
So yeah, and it's just talking about everything that can happen during quarantine.
That's so much better.
Dealing with eroticism. So it's Quarantine Chronicles Erratic Eroticism. So whether it's too much sex, not enough sex, what else? Bad sex, great sex.
trying to have sex with someone that's not in your own household.
Yes, missing that side piece sex.
Oh Lord.
I didn't cover
it's a little bit. Sorry. Say that again.
Y'all done covered the whole gambit, huh?
We tried
to. All the thoughts, those erotic thoughts that come through, during all this quarantine time. We were all limited to what we normally were free to do. So we had to write about it.
Okay, well, at it, y'all. So you didn't already told us what's up. The kids is older now, so You go ahead and get it in. You deserve it.
Right.
Yeah,
So
put the work in.
absolutely.
Let
And outside of Belle Publishing, I own a child development center. So when you are surrounded with children from 6 to 6, you want to do adult things afterwards, and that's usually what we are able to do when we step in. We actually have an office suite now. We didn't have that when so we came here to Oklahoma City. So now we do our meet and greet and have our little conferences. We have our own space now. Yeah, so that's going to be beautiful. Hopefully, we have a lot of authors, and it's so packed you can't walk through here. Yes.
I cannot wait for next year.
Oh, it's going to be amazing.
Know if this year was any indication to what the future looks like for your event, then the sky's the limit. And I've been plugging you guys or you ladies in the event to make sure that next year I bring at least 3 to 5 more authors.
Oh,
Yes,
that'll be
please.
beautiful.
Yeah, and we definitely will be expanding the space. We never thought. I mean, the first year, 21 authors. Yeah, we didn't think that we weren't thinking big enough, clearly.
Absolutely.
And even with our publishing business, we just haven't been thinking clearly enough. Because moving into here, I think we gained 6 new clients last month.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like I don't know what it is. They trust that they tell us we act like they aunties. So maybe.
Yes.
That
We want them to come in and feel like they're at home.
And at home.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's it.
And so that's what we do. And I mean, it's working for us. So we're going to keep pushing and doing the same thing.
Good. I'm happy to hear that there's been some success and some growth with the business. So I want to thank you both for being here tonight. So we're going to get into the topic because, again, thanks to social media, when we asked what would you like for us to talk about in the Urban Green Room, the topic of sex comes up quite often. And we just got off of having the conversation. Kenyatta, you alluded to the video clip.
I'm going to go back and listen to it in the car when it's appropriate and no children are listening.
Yeah, the oral sex conversation, which comes out as we're taping this, is actually coming out this on May 8th.
Okay.
Be the second episode that we did that clip for. So and your erotic poetry or poetress, we want to talk about how do you keep the romance going in a marriage. And Courtney, you mentioned like now that the kids are grown, you're able to express yourself a little bit more in your marriage. Mm-hmm. So let me start off by asking, how long have both of you been married?
7 years. We just celebrated 7 years about 2 weeks ago.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And mine, look, you see me looking, look, you see that eye. It's 22, and it'll be 22 years, the 25th of July. So almost, let's give it. Yeah, right. A long time. And Eddie's still alive, too, so that's a plus.
I haven't killed him during COVID either. Congratulations.
Hey, you still alive, too.
Right.
Listen, I sleep light, just in case. Be like, where you keep that gun again? Is it on safety?
Yeah.
Feeling.
Have a case.
An eye open always, like CBS, baby.
Stop.
Can't sleep.
Well, till 6, you better leave the light on.
Got knives and guns. So with the longevity, because that in itself needs to be celebrated, because in today's world, one, individuals that look like us are always told that we can't have like lasting relationships. Mm-hmm. So anything past 2 years is a huge accomplishment, it seems.
Absolutely. Like. Before him, 18 months was my limit. I promise I had never been in a relationship longer than 18 months before my husband. But I met him, and within 4 months, I knew he was my husband.
Okay.
And you were waiting for the right one.
I guess so. I knew it the day when I met him. I knew he was my husband. Although he was driven me crazy, I still knew.
It was somebody that had to be able to put up with her. That's what that was.
God needed him strong.
So then what do you say to someone who says that romance in a marriage is dead? Like romance and sex in marriage it doesn't exist or can't exist. What do you?
They killed it.
Right.
I tell them they killed it, or you allowed it to die. I feel like it's a daily job. You know, we got to continue. Don't just send her flowers within that first year of the marriage. Or that first year of dating her, you continue to do it.
Right.
And you continue to court her, as my grandma would say. And you know what I mean? You just got to continue to put the work in. So if you feel like romance is not, it's because you allowed it to.
Yeah. And then you just got to be creative too. I noticed that, like I said, again, he's definitely an introvert. So when it comes to creativity, I have to think of the really cool or the surprising or the let's do this and let's go here. If it wasn't for the small amount of time that I think he was in Arizona, he probably never would have left out of Oklahoma City. Like, just so observed, had never been to Vegas before, had never, just really to himself.
And see, my husband is kind of the opposite when it comes to romance. He's the romantic one. He's the one that remembers the crazy dates. And I'm like, what? We did what? When?
Right.
But don't get me wrong, I will participate, but it's just not me. I didn't want a wedding. I didn't want any of that. I'm like, let's do this and move forward. We got shit to do.
Right.
Like, it was like, we got a legacy to build, an empire, you know? So, but it works because even though he remembers the dates, I make sure to participate and do my own thing and come up with those little surprises too along the way. I may not remember the dates all the time. But
See, I identify with the introverted, because that's sort of me. I'm more reserved, you know, laid back. I won't speak a whole lot. You know, if I always compare to my kids, I say if they went to a party and there was 50 people there, they're going to know all 50 people by the time they leave. I'm probably to know like 3 or 4.
Yeah, me too. And that's because they came up to me and started a conversation.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, you seem pretty cool. What's up? But this one, she's the social butterfly of our
I'm so
business.
excited when I get to go to places. Courtney don't let me talk to strangers. I like to be able to go talk to strangers. But the good thing about me personally, I wouldn't want be married to the social butterfly, because then I feel like we need to be in competition all the time. As long as you are an extrovert by yourself, when it's just the two of you guys, then hey, I'm good.
Let me see that side of you that other people don't get to see.
That's it.
And I think, so they don't have to know why I love you.
I'm certain, friend.
We go out in public, everybody thinks you're mean. Creative. No one's gonna talk to you.
Yeah, when we just hanging out, just us, it's a completely different person. You know, it's just us. We know each other. I mean, there's no reservation in anything that we want to do. So I do identify with your husband more so that he's so is actually the creative one as well in our relationship. So she's the one always coming up with the ideas and, oh, let's try this, let's go here or there. But that's just, you know, difference in personality. She's that creative person, you know.
I think you need that balance.
You do. I agree with you, Courtney. I think you need that balance. And I look at couples where they're exactly the same. So both of them are extrovert. And it's always, like you said, Kenyatta, there's that competition that happens between them. Always shine. There needs to be a balance. And I'm a firm believer in, you know, as long as one of us can speak, then we're good.
Right.
And whether that's me or you come out of your shell at the right time, one of us just needs to be the voice, whether it's when it comes to sex, when it comes to the finances or any other aspect of the relationship. As long as one of us can speak, then I feel like we're covered. There's the balance. So, and you said something really important, Courtney, to me. You were saying that you didn't really want the whole marriage. You're not very romantic, so to speak. You like your husband is more the romantic party. Then how does that play when you go to write your erotic poetry? Because I would think it goes hand in hand.
I said romance, not the freaky side.
Yeah, there's nothing romantic in any of those books.
No, there is. Don't get me wrong.
Okay, slightly.
I am a bit of a sap, but at maybe behind closed doors more. I'm not expressive with it. Like he's the one that's gonna post and tag me and stuff, and I'm like, what are you doing? Get me off and untag me in that. Like I'm just not as expressive with it as him. Maybe during the right time. But I feel like sometimes you don't have to be romantic to be a freak.
No, you don't.
At all. So I can write the freaky stuff.
Urban fiction.
Yes.
You're not telling me anything that I know.
So I feel like the freaky side comes out in the poetry that, I don't know.
Because she even be embarrassed. She be on stage sweating.
I'm telling you.
Oh my God, I can't believe I'm saying this. Yes, you can because you wrote it.
Yes. And I even made a post one day on Facebook and I was like, okay, y'all, I'm really about to step out of my shell and y'all gonna see a whole new me at 2020 on the stage. And my cousin goes, girl, we know you're a freak. And I was like, no, I've been reserved with all of my stuff.
Yes. And she got on stage with chains and whips and stuff.
Oh,
Yeah. You got, like he said, oh.
okay.
So, is there a video?
We it's some pictures and videos. We'll send them to your inbox.
No, I want to hear you perform.
Our videographer was a little distracted. I don't know if he actually recorded.
Yes, because his
He's
mouth
fired.
was open.
He's fired.
His mouth was open because he was in shock. Clearly.
Well, it was the theme was 50 Shades of Play, so it was all about bondage and
BDSM.
Okay.
letting the freak out. So I brought someone on stage in the chains. My submissive.
He was in chains.
Yes, he was in chains.
Oh shit.
I mean, it was fun.
And
I think
Yo,
because I am. What you say? Hold on.
out on the video.
No, it's not. We got
There's
pictures.
some.
We'll send y'all some pictures.
There's some. We're gonna send you something.
It's getting hot in here.
So, and that kind of takes us back to the nervousness with the Author Expo. We do really big poetry events that are 300 people, no sitting room, standing room only, sold out. The event is saying 1.5K, 2K people going. You know, it's not going to be that many, but that shows how many people have hit your site, who have, you know, at least visited your page. To us, that's huge. So therefore, we didn't expect, we like, man, we can't get Black people read. We can't. So we won't get this type of crowd. We won't. And sure enough, we were really close. We didn't have 300 people in that building, but it was awfully close.
And why? Because it was erotic. Because they love it.
Yeah, they always love the erotic. So we didn't think that the crowd was going to be that big at the expo.
But
So we've done Love, Lust, and Laughs where we mix comedy.
okay. See, and I think that speaks to the piece that we don't give each other enough credit. And we don't aim high enough when it comes to planning. Like when I reached out to you for the event, and it's like a side note, everybody. Like I had never known Belle Publishing. I did not know Courtney or Kenyatta, and I reached out and said, "Hey, I want to come to the event." And the first thing you thought was, "She's coming all the way from Michigan. There's no way like someone's gonna come like from Michigan to OKC for an for."
We thought it was going to be people from here, and that was it.
But honestly, I think you were the push to, not to say we didn't believe in ourselves, but when you said that, I said, oh, you can do anything. Because you were like, okay, well, go do this. Reach out to this person. Everything that you messaged me about, we were on it.
Mm-hmm.
We were at the libraries. We were at the colleges. We were talking to the dean. We were emailing whoever. What do we need to do? Where do we need to go? So yes, I took heed to what you said, because if you were willing to come this far, the least I could do was bring the people to you.
And I appreciate that. So, and like, I want to stick to this because
Yeah, right, we'll get off.
you brought up the performance and the whips and the chains. So how much of that carries over into the bedroom?
Oh God,
All of it for me.
Courtney, 0 for me.
Oh, so it ain't just for show.
No, I mean, I didn't get married for nothing. Like this, we supposed to be having fun.
Hey,
I'm not going to be married to someone who doesn't allow me to express myself. However,
That-
and him too. I want him to be comfortable too.
that is so so important. You know that we were, I don't, it had to be about, I don't know, Mom, maybe what, 3 or so weeks ago. We were having this conversation and it evolved kind of into that. Like, you know, people are getting married and they're, you know, bonded together, but they have never discussed limits as far as whatever the topic may be. We were talking about sex at the time, you know, so if, say, a man's into a certain type of sex and the woman is not, or she's not willing to try, then that's probably not going to work out very well. That
Right.
relationship isn't going to last very long, or it's going to be hella strained, and vice versa. You know,
Right. Introduce the side piece.
that the man is not at least willing to try,
Mm-hmm.
then they in the road for some trouble. So I appreciate what you said when you was like, no, this is me. Like, hey, you got to accept me for what I like, and you have to be able to give me what I need in this relationship sexually, or you know what I mean. I got to bounce.
Absolutely, because I mean, who wants to be unhappy in their sex life, especially if you're married to somebody, you laying beside them every night? To me, it's so unsatisfying, and I'm gonna go get my rocks off somewhere. Either we gonna have a discussion about this and we gonna solve this, or I'm telling you, I'm going somewhere else.
And this is the thing.
I'm gonna add to that topic in just a second. I'm gonna let Courtney finish. Okay.
Your food.
Yes. Okay. He's locked in.
Thing. Most people don't get that. Like they're so consumed with the wedding part, right? Like, this is a great guy. This is I'm gonna marry him. I'm gonna wear a beautiful dress. The reception's gonna be awesome, the cake and food, and people will dance. However, the conversation needs to be had, like, as we grow in this marriage together, what does our sex life look like?
Mhm.
Like, because I'm into this. And if you were doing it when we were dating, then you can't stop doing that. And you alluded to that with the flowers and the romance. Whatever you did to get me, you have to continue to do
Absolutely.
marriage. Like, I'm not going to give you a hall pass on, committing to me sexually.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever that is. If I like to be handcuffed and tied to the bed, then I expect you to handcuff me and tie me to the bed once a week. That's the least you can do.
Right, exactly. But that's what I like.
Do within that. If you want candle drippings on you, I got you.
Yes.
But it has to be there. That's something that has to continue, because that's something we started before. And I think being open and honest and having these conversations, I think most people shy away from that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they let the mundaneness of life, like, I got children, I gotta cook, I gotta clean the house, I gotta work. All of that takes precedence over taking care of your mate. And I think it's one of the reasons why people do think that romance and sex in marriage dies. Is because we put more emphasis on other things instead of making sure we keep the sex life alive and happy. Because it's one thing if it's active, but if it's not good and you're not happy about it and we're not doing the things that I need you to do to fulfill me, then we've missed the point altogether.
I know. I tell my friends, they don't realize what God created sex for, between a man and a husband and a wife.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I didn't realize the emotional attachment, or just the level of appreciation that could come with sex within a marriage. Like, there were partners, of course, before my husband. I didn't get married till I was 30, but I don't know. There was quite a few partners that I never felt anything like I feel with my husband. It's different. And that's what people don't understand. You have to experience that on a whole nother level. And it makes you want to do it all the time and try to find those different avenues just to make it even better. Like, it's a energy, a connection between me and him that is so different from any other partner that I've ever dealt with. And I think that's what marriage is about.
So I'm going to add to that, because people think I be joking when I say I crave my husband.
I crave my husband's cum. I'm so sorry to put that out there like that, but I do.
Girl, amen. Because
I've never felt that.
I've never felt that with anyone else.
Mm-hmm.
I crave his touch. I crave
Everything.
the way he moves inside of me. It sets off some things. To me, that's the one thing that I can give him. Is because
Mhm.
he wasn't my first.
Mhm.
The fact that I crave it and I long for it, I'm like, whoo, I did not know. Like it was that deep.
Mhm. It is. Oh, it's a spiritual thing. And I'm telling you, I never felt that until after, like, we were intimate before we got married, but after, maybe I say a couple months after, and I just really let myself go within our marriage, it was a whole nother connection I had never experienced before. And I think that's what a lot of people don't allow in their marriage, so they can take it to another level.
Okay,
But I'm gonna let Yetta
yes.
speak on her. What the
Yes.
question you asked me? What was it?
Well, okay, so let me back up a little bit. You were saying, when you're trying everything, I think with me, we
Hold up.
were more creative at the beginning. So like, again, we've been 22 years. So we did the whole, let's tie you up, let's dress up as the cop, let's be the maid, let's be the burglar, all of that at the very beginning. But I don't know if he had this preserved thought in his head as a marriage, like your husband is, I don't know, and maybe we never even, sadly, had not discussed it, but the longer we were married, the more open to those options he was. Like the whole swings and girl.
Mm-mm. He's
Yes.
he's reserved on his limit. He has a lot of boundaries.
Exactly. And that's it. He has boundaries. And so you don't,
Extreme boundaries.
you want to introduce certain things, but then you kind of like, oh my gosh, we don't want to offend him. Lord have mercy, the pastor. Because I be acting. We call him security because he just stand there and be real serious all the time, securing the perimeter.
So, Kenyatta, you're saying that you're not as adventurous as you were like at early stages of marriage. It's sort of calm
Correct.
down now.
Yes. Oh, it's a lot calmer.
And so I think that's what brought on her erotic poetry, because it allows her to speak
Yes.
all of that. Like she's releasing it.
Yes. I get to say how, but see, okay, so on the good note for him, we typically do Wednesday night poetry nights, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if I am able to get on stage and let all that go, and he's smart, he knows it. So he's probably at home thinking, ooh, when she gets home on Wednesday nights, it's on and popping. Because I've talked nasty all night. I've got to be nasty all night. And then when you get home, you like, okay, I'm about to do to you what I've been saying all night on stage. So, he loves it. And then we do Talk Dirty Tuesdays. So Tuesdays and Wednesdays is his favorite night. Like he might, and if I'm tired, it was probably gonna be your only night. But no, I'm kidding. But yeah, like that's usually what we do.
That's exactly what he's thinking. I'm gonna tell you right now. That's exactly what.
Looking forward to it.
And she, you know what? He ain't even got to prime it.
No, nothing. But listen, at 40, you ain't got to prime it. I am listen, call me in the middle of the day. Stop what you're doing. The older you, people say the 40s. Really, it was those 30s. Like I hit a point in my 30s, like you were talking about the whole crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It was almost like a drug addict, to where at some points I was angry in the middle of the day. What you angry for? You can't do nothing about this situation. You is at work. You can't do it right now.
But see, and I feel like
going through your mind.
At 22 years of marriage, it ought to be some lunch break quickies and all of that clothes. She on her own business. Like, why y'all ain't done it on this desk yet?
Listen, Maurice,
He got
that 30-minute lunch break at that Tinker Air Force Base to take him 30 minutes to get off the base. He's stressed out from that. He'd be like, please bring me some lunch. I can't leave. It's going to take me 30 minutes. It's going to take me 45 to get him some lunch.
And I'll bring you some lunch, all right.
Yeah, no.
Go get some lunch.
You'll get a lot.
That's the thing. I can't get a snack.
And you could have you a sandwich too.
Mm-hmm.
Literally.
Quick. Eat that while you walking back in the building and thinking about what I just did to you in the car.
Shit, I might not make it home.
Right. He gonna call in the rest of the day.
Man, I'm trying to told you. I know
See, mine, I got that type that motivates you to go back to work and get that money.
I have not made it into work at all.
He gonna put in PTO. He is not gonna go back.
And she got up and left. So like if it went down like early in the morning on the wake up, I probably ain't even gonna make it in. Might not
That's
make
that rejuvenation sex.
it late. I'm gonna definitely be a couple hours late at least.
And I know there's been some times I've come home on lunch and like stayed for 3 hours for lunch.
Broke me off.
And then I was just like, well, let me just go back to work and clear off my desk real quick because I left everything out.
Literally.
And literally went back, cleared it off, and came home. And he'd be like, "Is there more? Do you need more? Like, if you ready, I'm ready. I'm let me know." But
I'll make it happen.
in between that chicken frying, let me go finish up what we just did.
Right.
Well, and see, okay, so I'm the horrible person. I, they try to say you're not supposed to use sex as what's the word I'm looking for? Weapon? It is, as a weapon. That's a good one. So I know that if it's amazing, like I'm about to get the floor retiled, I'm going to get everything, my car washed, oil changed, all of that. So I usually do that when I want things, and I usually want something all the time. He's sending me pictures of doors. You want these doors right here? I said, I want these doors right here.
She's like, I got doors, I got shades, I got the walls redone.
I got a bathtub. I said, you got a whole new bathtub. I got a whole new listen. I had to work hard for that. Hey, that's that balance. She get what she want, he get what he want.
Exactly. And really, I'm winning, but he don't know it. I just like, because we was taught to let them know that they winning, let them think that they winning. So I won twice.
I got
the bathroom, and then still got your back banged out too. So it was a win-win.
I got news for you. We always know y'all winning. We pretend like
good. I'm glad you think that.
We know the game. We know exactly what's going on.
And then so I be having to remember he's 50.
We don't care because we too. So we know. We just don't say shit. It works out for everybody.
Exactly. It sounds like a compromise to me. Like my husband don't say nothing about all them Amazon packages, and I still give him some.
Look, he already know it. He like, don't bring them up. It's about to be a fight.
Amazon packages.
Listen.
She need to start doing like me and have them sent at work. All my packages come to the job.
I will not anymore. I will not hide my packages. Listen, I'm gonna break you off because I just spent something on your card. Trust you me, like you're gonna get something. Like you won't get them new shoes or whatever else it is that I'm buying, but I'm gonna give you something in return that is 10 times better than whatever was in them boxes.
I promise you.
Listen, half the time it's stuff for the house. It's not even stuff for me. Like it's okay.
We needed a rug in our laundry room.
That's a lie. Don't be no stuff for the damn house. Let's not even do every day. Every day. How big?
Anthony said every day.
Hey, come on now. Hey, every day you getting stuff for the house. Yeah, go on with that.
Listen.
I know we can't get out and shop.
COVID got me all in my feelings sometimes. Like, I was a good window shopper, but now I just be like, you know what? This is the window. I don't know. Next time I'm gonna be able to get out.
It's so easy. You just click. Push your buttons.
Okay, I'm just before I.
Right. Y'all should make that a topic though.
Name this on COVID.
Window shopping.
Here's with you. We ain't in COVID for 20 years.
No.
Clear that up. We've been in COVID for a month. Damn it. No. We're not doing that.
Did she buy some sexy stuff for you? Because that's what I always say. Oh, this is for you.
You know what? I'm not the lingerie type of dude.
Well, the panties and the bra?
They ain't staying on long. Nah.
If you wasted your money, take that off.
See, stuff. Don't get me wrong. There are a couple of outfits that I like. And she got. I like shoes.
So I got a lot of shoes.
You sound like, oh, you got foot fetish?
He does not care if the lingerie stay on, but them shoes, oh Lord,
Just cover yourself in honey and put them heels on. That's all you need.
I be oiled up and be like, how these look?
Right. Ain't even looking at the shoes. Them shoes is pretty, baby. You looking in your eyes.
You should see me.
Them shoes for all the 3 seconds, maybe.
I be like, how they look?
Leave the shoes on. You gotta leave them shoes
That's part
on.
of them shoes. Part of the fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so listen, this is what I do. I be childish. I might not have no shoes on and it might not be lingerie, but you gonna sashay through the house. You gonna make 10 trips to the living room while he trying to watch that movie about, it's all in Spanish and it's about killers. It's a mafia movie. I put their panties in brown. Them panties is so little. They be so little. And I just look. This is what I do. I just walk across the TV a whole bunch of times. You know, you can't even understand what them people is saying.
And now we struggling trying to read the damn subtitles because you prancing around here and shit. Like, she do this too. Like,
Find you something in English, damn it.
she'll put one of my t-shirts on, you know, so it don't even cover her ass and shit. Like half her ass is covered. And then she'll start walking around the house. And and it's always, I'm in the middle of really something I'm interested in. And I'll be like, God damn, well, this got to pause. Thank God for the advancements in technology now, because I would have been missing a lot of shit.
Right. Yeah, literally.
Well, what about those guys? Like we were talking about romance being dead. I think a lot of it. My ex used to play those video games, Fortnite, the shooting games with the headset and all of that. And I did that one time. I walked in front of the living room, butt ass naked, in front of the TV in the living room, butt ass naked in some heels. He didn't even look up. I knew he was not the man for me right then. I was like, He didn't even look up. I was like, oh, these clothes need to be folded. So I'm over here folding towels, bent over, and like did not move. Continue to talk to his friends. I tell people he's gay now. If they ask. He has some gay tendencies.
You see him now, he's gay.
When guys say romance is dead, I'm gonna speak from my own experience with people I've talked to, men that have been married, you know, for a few years or so. I think the biggest issue with us is, you know, those early years, like not the honeymoon year, forget about the first year, maybe even the first couple, but definitely once you start bringing kids into the story, it throws everything off. It throws all the balance off. And the issue that I see is that couples stop making time for each other. Like everything becomes
About the kids.
More about the household.
Don't have your life anymore. Your life has completely changed. So it's not just you two. We got some kids now in this house. Household we have to take care of, and that's where all the time goes. That and work. So we see each other when we go to sleep. You know, we sleep with each other, and that's about it. And you know, she's tired as hell by the end of the day because she didn't work. She didn't came home. She didn't cooked. Probably straightened up a little bit too. And I'm tired. Nigga, get off me, right? So that happens for quite a bit. You know, quite a bit of years in a relationship, and people grow apart because they don't have that connection anymore sexually. That the sex helps you stay connected emotionally to that person.
It does.
And once you stop doing that regularly, you leave that gap open, and that's when people start spreading apart. We've seen so many people that we've known that grew up, you know, just because our kids and these couples, and as soon as our kids graduated, everybody started getting divorced. It was a rash of people, like almost everybody we knew started getting divorced. And you know what? I wanted to tell them dudes, you know what? Y'all should have held out because, you know, I got issues with God. He's funny as hell because men, we go through our sexual peak early. You know, we want to run through everything early in our 20s, you know. Women don't hit their sexual peak till late 30s, early 40s. And you know what? It's great. It's great. But shit, y'all be wearing us out.
I think That's why they always end up with like a 22, 25-year-old, you know? Yeah.
That's where you get
Sugar mamas.
from and all that, man. I'm trying to tell you. Hey, the Cougars, y'all out on the prowl.
So go ahead.
Going. We're trying to, like, the sex urge is there. And I don't get mad at anybody, any woman who is older than her husband, because she was looking for compatibility when it came to sex.
Right.
And sometimes you got to think about that. Like, if I'm 50, I might need somebody who is under 30 to fulfill me in the bedroom. Like, and everything else, I'm a firm believer that we can teach them on. But when it comes to the sex drive and thinking about longevity in a marriage, you have to weigh those pieces. Like you said, you could be tired. If we're the same age in life as, we've been roughing it through life and working and we raise the kids, by the time we get to a point where we're by ourselves, are we too tired to continue the relationship? And to me, the answer should be no. That's the time where you revigorate, things. I know when we became empty nesters, it was the best thing ever. One, because I got to walk around the house naked.
Yes.
Clothes. I come home from work and I would and to the point where he said the boys are too old and they start having friends come over. You cannot walk around the house naked no more. And I would be like, really? Because I'd be naked, no bra, no panties, naked around the house because it's my house.
Right.
And I've done what I needed to for the day. I want to be comfortable. So I want to be naked. And that was my thing. And now nobody's home. I get to be naked again. I do not, if I don't want to wear clothes, I'm not going to wear clothes. If the boys come over, and right now so the college student is here, and I'll be like, listen, you know what your mama do? And he'd be like, yeah, I know. And I be careful who you have coming over here. You got to let me know, because it's my house.
Right.
And what I want. Plus, I know it keeps him entertained. So if I'm walking around the house naked, I know he's going to start touching on me. I know it's going to start leading to something. And then everybody's going to be happy. And then when we're done, he can sit and watch whatever movie he wants in Spanish, subtitles, documentary.
After it's over.
I don't care, because at that point, like, I've gotten what I needed, and so did he.
Right.
But no, now is the time. Like, when the kids get older, the older the kids get, the easier marriage gets, and the sex. Mm-hmm. Because I remember when the kids were younger, we used to have to schedule sex. No, seriously.
I know. I've been there. I'm laughing because I know.
And it drove me crazy, because if I was tired and I slept on sex night, I was like, oh my goodness, how do I get a do-over?
Right. Yeah. Can I get it in the morning? Well, okay, so I have a question for you. What do you do if, so say for instance, when Maurice was younger, he would be the person to wake you up in the middle of the night. And don't get me wrong, you'd be kind of like, oh my gosh, I'm exhausted. But once you gather yourself together, you're excited that you didn't got woke up. Okay, so now he says he feels like, oh, it's rude for me to wake you up. I don't want to disturb you. You are like sleeping hard. And so I'm kind of like, oh, that sounds sweet, but that's not really what I wanted you to do. I really want to be woke up. Regardless, I could sleep at my desk if I'm that tired, or I'm going to get some coffee and Red Bull. Listen,
Honey.
Nothing comes to a sleep with a drink. So
this is what I would tell D. I literally, if I could roll over on your dick in my sleep, I would. But if you poke me, if you start touching me in the right places, I will wake up. I might be a little pissed at first, but knowing what you're trying to do, huh? Mm-hmm. What'd you say?
No, just a little. Yes.
Just for a little bit, I will then, like, that movement become like, oh, and then it's like, yes, and then it's like rodeo time, like. But you have to do that. It's okay if you do that. And I even tell him now, because even though I'm working from home, I'm working like crazy hours. that I normally would not have to commit to. So you might have to like touch me if I fall asleep.
Yeah.
Trust and believe that if I fall asleep at 9 o'clock, even when you go to tuck me in at 11, I'm ready.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just waiting for you to tell me the word. Like
Right.
it's nothing. I get a second real quick. I will handle business. I will ride and die in the bed with you tonight if that's what you want. But you have to let me know that. And and it goes both ways because there's been times where I know he's sleepy, but I need him.
Right.
And I will touch and I will suck and you will wake up.
Right. Hello. 'Cause
Handle,
that'll definitely wake you up.
yes, and you gonna handle business
Every time.
and we gonna be all right.
Now, my husband's woke up and I've been halfway done. Because you can wake him up while he's still asleep.
Yeah.
Wake up. I get up there and have a good time. Be like, hey, welcome to the party.
Because he definitely got waking up.
Yes. You gotta do what you gotta do.
And I think people forget that. Like we should be in a place in our relationship where the inconvenience is not necessarily inconvenience. Like, yes, I was sleeping, probably hard, probably needed that rest, but I also need to take care of you too. And that goes with communication because we talked about it already. I've already set the disclaimer, hey, if I fall asleep, wake me up because you know what I need.
Right.
You need me too.
Right.
Like it's been a big week, let's take some stress out, let's get wild, let's have fun. But that comes with communication. So let me ask you then, like with the communicating and trying to figure out what it is that you want in relationships, how far is too far for you? Because I feel like I'm pretty open. Like I alluded to the candle thing. So this is so funny. I gotta share this story. I saw once candles being dripped on your nipples. And so I was like, oh my God, I want to try that. That seems dangerous. And now the sensation of wax on my skin, just anywhere on my skin is a turn on for me. So I told that to D and he was like, hell no, I don't want to do no wax. You're going to burn the house down. But then we did it. He was like, oh shit, I like wax. I was like,
Okay, so listen.
we talk about like how far is too far when we go to introduce new things into the relationship.
Okay, well, before you go any further, he doesn't have to seem weird about the wax, even if you like it now. Get the one that melts and it's an oil. Have you seen that? It burns like a candle. It smells normal. It feels hot, but the minute it touches your skin, it doesn't burn. It's just
hot oil.
It's just warm oil.
Oh,
That is the best.
sounds like it is.
We'll send you a link.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm gonna find that and I'm gonna put it in the link.
Pam said, yes.
Pure Romance. Yes.
Yeah, we'll
yes.
send you a link. Our friend sells them.
Yes, on
they're
Pure
amazing.
Romance.
That
Did you hear what he said?
Amazon package that I will welcome.
Okay. Okay.
And I mean, to try to kind of piggyback off what you said, it's about that communication and telling them what you like and being open to receiving that information and not just like, oh man, she too much of a freak. You got to be willing to listen and have a conversation. Well, tell me, why do you like this? Talk about it so you can make your partner comfortable. I
Right.
think that's what's important.
Yeah.
I'm open to if he thinks of it, I am definitely open to anything. Because I would be so excited that he decided, guess what, today, you know what I'm saying? We about to do this to you. It might be the craziest thing. Chains to the wall, to your nipples. I'm probably gonna say hell no. But after I think about it, okay, I'm gonna let you try till I start crying. You know what I mean? Because I'll be so excited
That he's being open.
that he thought about it. Now, like I said, we tried the swing. I do have to say the threesome was the hardest thing to introduce to him. Oh my God, he was like, "You are Jezebel." Like, how dare you? So how I convinced him, like cracking up. How I convinced
You whore.
you're a trashy whore. So no,
See, my husband's like, where's she at? Point her out.
where is she on her way? So I
You
actually,
know, I asked her-
it was a process. I had to slowly reeling me, and I had to talk about it first. I said, guess what we talked about at work today? So I'm waiting for him to say something. I had more than planted the seed. I had to put the fertilizer, I had to water, I had to go back and, oh, Jesus.
You had to come back and rake it.
I had to do all of that. Girl, man, I want to say threesome, my husband naked. Like, I mean, he just, but she on her way? Yes, like, no. But, so the good thing is I didn't press it too hard. I waited a little bit, and then he asked questions. And then I'm thinking in the back of my mind, somebody get curious. So I just answered the questions for him, and I was like, and it really started out of bed because I was scared too. But once it actually got ready to happen, I was like, oh, bitch, don't chicken out now. It's too late. You'd already said yes.
That's it.
Right. You all in now. So the lovely part about it was seeing a different side of him. Like, that was, wow. That's all I can say.
So I got questions now because that's something Dee and I have not experienced. So how did you go about? He said yes. How do you go about finding someone to, like, what does that look like? Because you said you planted the seeds. How did you go about finding the right person to be part of that experience for you?
It was very difficult for me. So the awesome thing about planting the seed, it made him think freaky and be more freaky when it just was the two of us. So we would go to clubs, and I'm like, is she cute? Go dance with her. $20 say you won't go get her number, and I'll be teasing him. He's so shy. He was like, I'm not talking to her. I'm not going up to nobody. And so it became a game. And then he would be like, I'm getting gas, blah, 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 just a general conversation. I said, is there somebody cute at the gas station? You need to go try to talk to her. And he just was like, oh my gosh, you are too much. and so finally, it happened accidentally. A girl at his job, we were getting ready to have our sweet 16 anniversary party. And this girl at his job said, hey, can I come? So I said, only if she's cute. And so he was like, no, she's cute. And then so I said, when you tell her that you're going to cook dinner for all three of us one day, just on any day. So she comes over, and she was cute. She was corny as all outdoors, but hey, we drink, we hang out, and she's like, I don't want to, she's military, so she's on the base. So he has to go pick her up for starters. And I wanted him to know that I am completely comfortable with you going to pick her up. I don't think anything. I trust y'all. Mainly because I was ready for this to happen. So he goes to pick her up. We eat. He makes this big dinner. We drink wine. We laugh. We talk. And she says, I don't want to go home. So, but again, we had not talked about the threesome. So I was like, oh, okay. So we don't want to press her because especially they work together. So, that would have been a little dangerous. So she sleeps on the couch. We go in the room and leave the door open. Oh, he loved that because now he feels like somebody can hear you.
Got an audience.
Speaking, blah, blah, blah.
Got an audience. Now it's time to perform.
Yes. Well, unfortunately, I had a mandatory training at 8 a.m., so I had to leave super early. So she comes in and lays in the bed, and he sends a picture. So I call her back. I said, hey, the picture in the bed of you is cute. She's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I don't mean to be disrespectful, blah, 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 blah. I said, no, you good. That's what we wanted you to do. And that's what did it. And so she said, so are you saying you want a threesome? And I said, only if you're comfortable. I always flip it back because I want them to seem like, it's their idea. And so she was like, I'm okay with it. So what do you have tonight? Because now it's Saturday. What do you have to do tonight? Can I come back again tonight? So it's on now. It was on now. So we cooked again for her again. She got there before I did. So they taking shots. I was already lit. So I'm taking shots of water because I can't drink anymore because I'm not going to remember anything. So, and it just like she made the first move. That being able to be the center of attention, because again, that's what I like. That's why I think it was amazing. So it wasn't like both of us on him. It was both of them on me. That was beautiful. It was beautiful.
Gotcha.
I think basically you just knew what it would take to get him comfortable.
Yes.
See,
Lots of liquor.
well, that and I meant more like, the steps, little by little you planted that in his head and allowed him again to think that it was his idea.
Right. Because he found her.
Yeah. So me, on the other hand, I just walk up to a chick in the club and hand her my business card and be like, me and my husband want to take you home.
You take the more direct route.
Yes.
It's after a few drinks, though. I can't approach anyone sober.
Yeah, male or female. She don't care who it is.
No, two drink minimum at least in order to approach someone in that situation.
She ain't playing no games.
Now the second time was a lot easier. The second time was a lot easier because I met her in the club, and I said, my pickup lines is fierce, honey. So I was just like, little mama, why you in here by yourself? And she was like, oh, my boyfriend, he's locked up, blah, blah, blah. I said, well, put my number in your phone so we can keep you company until he come home. We can keep him. And that we did. We kept a company for a while until that baby daddy got to the house. But the thing is, with women, I feel sorry for y'all. Like, don't get me wrong. Listen, when they say it ain't tricking if you got it, I totally admit it. Listen, you want your nails done? I'm horrible. I'm going to take her out to eat. I'm going to get her toes done. All of that. What is it going to take?
I ain't doing none of that. I'm about to bitch about a Hennessy and tell her the room number. Hell no. See, what's your drink?
Oh.
And she got to leave.
Okay, that's the thing with the first one.
Dude, in the relationship.
It was Father's Day.
And
it was Sunday. She wanted to go to church with us. I said, no, ma'am.
What was did?
We knew we was having trouble on our hands. You laughing?
Oh,
she first of all, she did not go home. She spent the night and did not want to leave. You are not going to church with us. Listen, it got to, can I meet the kids? She was all at the baby's birthday parties. It got fierce.
She got.
Oh, Jesus.
See, that's why that bottle of Hennessy.
Listen, y'all did too much to her. Y'all turned her out. She was like, I'm home.
Yes.
No,
If he doing 5 to 10, I'm home right now.
Right, exactly.
no, this was the military girl. So, she was lonely. All her family was somewhere else. She was stationed in Oklahoma.
She found her family.
All right.
I think it should be about the experience, and that's it.
Oh, Jesus.
If we meet up again.
But this is our first time. We didn't know.
Well, now, I'll be honest, because my husband, we didn't took you a stray dog. See.
Once you feed them, they there.
Right. But I'll be honest, like, my husband and I, we probably done a little bit more. He got in hers.
A lot.
Okay, a lot. But, because I prefer couples. I prefer to swap with couples, or we in the same room having sex, and it's more of a voyeurism type thing. And we're just turned on by each other's actions, or we swap in a situation. I prefer that because I feel like no one is really left out. It's equal. It's more of a balance in the situation, and we all have fun. I prefer that situation over a threesome situation.
I was never left out. I never felt like I was left out.
Well, I've heard that because we have friends that are swingers,
Mm-hmm.
and they have laid it, and they tell us exactly how that's supposed to look, how they find their couples, what their comfort zone is, and making sure everybody is taken care of. So I heard that because they feel like there's less strings attached. Like that couple's gonna leave. Chances are us getting together again are going to be slim. But even if we do, we always know it's a couple, and they respect those boundaries. Like they're going to leave versus what Kenyatta said she went through, where someone became attached to a situation they should not have become attached to.
And then with the couple situation, the husbands always spoke. Like they talked to each other and planned whatever it was. Okay, Saturday we're free. Y'all come over at 10 p.m. type situation. So it was never me speaking to the husband or her speaking to my husband and creating an uncomfortable situation. They made all the arrangements via text message or email or whatever, and then we met and
Set up an appointment.
yes, it was like an appointment, a business deal, and we had fun, for a few hours, and then we all went back to our separate domiciles. But I'll be honest, we met the best couple we found. We met on Craigslist, and it was, believe me, you got to do a lot of screening on Craigslist. But it was, I think we got really lucky.
What did y'all search?
There's some.
What was it in search for?
I'll send you the link. But I think we just got lucky. We found a couple with the same interests. Of course, they were both Black, which is what we were looking for. And I mean, body type. We sent each other pictures, and we commented and spoke for a while. Then we spoke on the phone, and we got comfortable with each other, and it just worked out. I don't recommend Craigslist for anyone because I think we just got really, really lucky. And I mean, we had more than a few experiences with that couple, and it was a comfortable situation for both of us. And that was probably the best, swingers type situation. The threesomes are cool, but I just think sometimes people can feel left out.
So
that's what I've heard a lot from other couples that wanted to experience, that is somebody's getting left out. You know what I mean? So I think it's probably been a timid approach, especially with us, because we don't want to experience that. Like I don't
think a lot of times it's intentional. Right? I think you just get over here and you feeling good, you're doing your thing, and you don't realize that you left them out. But I think
intentional, but I don't want to leave a situation like that and my wife not be happy.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Because that could do a lot of damage to a relationship. I don't want her to leave that experience and think that I'm just going to be, willy-nilly all out on my own type of thing, because I enjoyed this other woman a little too much. I did not pay enough attention to her. That would, what I mean? That would hurt us, because at the end of the day, I'm still married to her, and I ain't going nowhere.
Right.
Unless
in a good situation when it's just three, because I haven't done four yet. The goal is it's a recycle. If you're taking care of this other woman, then at the same time, she's supposed to be taking care of AA. It's all supposed to be a circle. It should not be, hopefully, a moment to where even when I got the opportunity to watch, it was never a moment where and everybody is different. Maybe I just felt comfortable. I never felt left out. Maybe I was just in awe, and it was so surreal that like, oh shit, this is really happening.
And see, that go back to you being turned on by watching too. So if that is a fetish for you, then that makes a difference. But if you don't like,
know it was a fetish, but I was like, shit.
I've had some men say we can swap, or we can, and I mean like men as far as in a marriage, that I've discussed us swapping, and they'll say, well, we can watch y'all, but he can't mess with my wife, or I'll mess with you, but he can't mess with my wife. So they have an issue with seeing their woman or their spouse with someone else. And that is a problem in itself. You probably shouldn't even be discussing that situation.
Stop you then.
Yeah, it's not for you. You're going to be uncomfortable.
Right.
But if you can cheer your spouse on and be like, babe, like you better knock that shit. You're like, come on.
She's supposed to be holding them legs back.
Yes, exactly.
Yes, if it's done correctly, she is holding the legs.
Exactly. She's doing it.
He laughing. I'm serious.
But I'm
excited for y'all. That means y'all gotta hurry up and find somebody.
It's to me, because okay, so when you think about, because most people, the only image that they're gonna have of a threesome, unfortunately, is porn.
Yeah, it ain't nothing like that.
And I always go back to, and we talked about that during the episode on oral sex, is that it should act as the foundation of what it could be. And what I mean is just the three people.
Right.
Everything else that happens in that moment, because porn is overacted to me.
Oh man.
Oh God.
More than likely overrated. But it lays the foundation for what could potentially happen. So when I think about the threesome or even a couple situation, like bringing that into the marriage, like, and it should be to me full participation. It
Absolutely.
there should never be a moment where someone is not touching the other person. Does that make sense?
Absolutely right.
That's the connection. That's the whole piece of it. Because to me,
Right.
that would be the turn on, is that it's where I'm fully connected with two other people. The
Yeah.
minute I step away and no one's touching or sucking or doing something to me, then to me that means that I'm not engaged in the process and
Right.
that I am being left out. And I think that speaks to what Dee was saying when he said we know people who've had that experience and they felt left out. I think also what goes comes into play is the mindset, because once you allow reality to kick in and stop living in the moment and start thinking, oh my God, I can't believe I'm doing this, or my husband or wife is doing this to this person, like, should we be doing this? Like, I call that sober mind, where it's
Right.
like, oh, wait a second, this is not right, I got to get out of here. And they start allowing what society says is right for them to creep in, and then they become disengaged from the process. And because I've even had someone say, I started thinking about it. And I said, so you weren't enjoying the process? You weren't enjoying the moment? And they were like, no, I thought too much. I
Yeah.
thought too much about what was happening, and I decided I didn't like it. And I said, well, why did you went through all this trouble? Why didn't you like it? And they were like, because it was wrong. I said, according to who?
Right.
Like,
If everyone in the party is grown,
Or
yes.
you set your own standards within your marriage. So if it's not wrong for you and him or her, then go for it.
And
Enjoy.
that was just it. That I said you will allow outside influences to dictate what was right for you and your husband in that moment. I said, like, I don't think there's a right or wrong. What I think is you have to be comfortable with the decisions that you guys make in the marriage.
Mhm.
I said, so if that was something that you agreed on, like, how dare you not at least enjoy the moment?
Mhm.
And then you could say, babe, we did it once and I don't feel comfortable again. How do you feel? And you can talk it out. But you allowed yourself to be disengaged based on society's um, stipulations on what a marriage should look like or what sex should be in a marriage.
And you missed out on the experience. You cheated yourself.
Yes. And she worked up, like you, Kenyatta, she worked up to it. It was her idea. And then, like, for lack of a better way of saying it, she pussied out
Oh no.
of the event or the experience, and then was upset, and now they're not going to do it again. But then again, they're not married anymore either, so like it's kind of it's a tale of the marriage, if that makes sense.
I think my only reason for being nervous was, am I going to be, you're not going to be great your first time, but your first time being intimate with a woman. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't identify any sexual preference anymore, clearly. But
She's a polyfreak.
yes,
Poly-
Polyfreak.
I'm trisexual. I try anything. But that was my thing. I wanted to be good at what I was doing. I don't know, as men, when they first are intimate with a woman, they're not, perfect at it. But this would be my first time. So my thing that I enjoyed a lot is women's touch is different. They're more sensual. They're soft. Don't get me wrong. We like them hard working hands. But at the same time, like, that was an eye opener. Not like, oh my gosh, I'm going straight women, because that'll never happen. But did I enjoy every bit of the whole female skin to skin touch? Yes.
And so you open your mind and allow yourself to enjoy that experience, because you don't know what you like until you try it.
That's it.
It's like with the whole candle wax thing. It's like, oh, I think I like wax. So now I like wax dripped on me.
Yeah.
So it's a whole different experience. Right. So
it's so weird, because the more we start to have these open conversations with people, they're like, even with the clip that we put out today, somebody was like, oh my God, I thought I was the only one. And I'm like, no,
You're not.
we just don't talk about it.
exactly.
I'm like, the minute I say wax to somebody, they laugh. I said, but that's the least of your concerns. Like that wax that's nothing. That's amateurish. And that was years ago. I'm
Right.
talking about like knowing your partner and knowing what they need and not giving up on that.
Right.
Like again, back to if I was doing it before we got married, I'm doing it now. Nothing's changed. Maybe the level of intensity and maybe the level at which we're doing it and the creativeness around that, but we're still doing it.
Right. The location may have changed.
That's it.
The location always changes. It's the car, the park, the tree. You got a favorite tree at a park?
And the beautiful thing about it, I don't know about Courtney, it seems like it lasts forever.
Bleachers, don't forget the bleachers.
Encounter itself.
Yeah, the encounter itself lasts forever to me.
Well, that's only because my husband don't want to stop.
Yeah.
Shit, I'm ready to go to bed.
No, it be. I ain't saying the sun is coming up, but hey, you better drink your Red Bulls. Be
Oh,
ready.
we talking about a threesome encounter.
Yes, the threesome encounter.
Oh, absolutely.
So if your regular sex is normally all-nighters, just imagine that threesome. Y'all gonna be going all night.
Wow.
Because it's so competitive, but competitive in a good way.
Listen, I remember when me and
Like-
my husband, we first went and slept with another couple. My mom was living with us temporarily. So
Shit.
I remember
Y'all
it was 5 a.m. and we were sneaking through our bedroom window. This was our
Y'all
house.
grown.
We grown. We sneaked through the bedroom window because we didn't want mama to see us. But when I tell you that was the most fun we have probably had sexually, that night we felt like kids. We did. We probably had been married maybe 3 years at that point. But I remember crawling back through that window just laughing. And the sun was up and we probably had sex for another 2 hours before we passed out. Just because that experience brought us so much closer together. Like, it was amazing.
Y'all had so much fun because y'all asses was sneaking around like teeth.
That's what it was. And that's what it was. We felt like, we were going to get caught. It was just the rush of it all. Like crawling back through that window just made it just probably took it to a whole new level.
No, so we go through this we extremely broke. We don't have kids, thank you, Jesus. But we're living with my mom. So Maurice decides he's going to tie me up while she at the grocery store. Real quick. She goes, no, well, you know how your mama shops. She got her coupons and then she want to get her meat at this one store. And then get her vegetables at another store and then go and get her bread at the bread store. So we had a little bit of time, but you talking about somebody nervous. I couldn't even enjoy it because I was too busy doing like this out the window, trying to see if she was coming because our room was right in the front by the window, by the driveway. I'm like, oh my God, you're going to get us caught. You're going to get us caught. Hurry up and untie me. Lord have mercy.
But I see that's what marriage is about.
Exactly.
It's about
we went
pushing
married
the
young.
limits and finding fun stuff to continue to do. Like, you don't just do that when you're dating. You continue to do that. Me and my husband gonna be 75 and 76, and we still go. I promise, we probably gonna get caught at the park and everything because we still gonna be getting it in. I don't care. Whatever.
We got an 8-year gap, and I'm telling you, I tell him all the time, when you get old, I'm gonna do whatever I want to do to you. Listen,
It's like me in the wheelchair playing with his arms.
yeah.
Like, I don't give a damn.
I'm gonna be in that wheelchair like this.
Twerking in the wheelchair.
Yeah,
Oh my!
just be still.
But shoot, I think it just never ends when it comes to marriage. Like every year you should be building on, like, I want to try to top what we did last year.
Yeah.
Oh, we already did that. We already fucked in the back of the truck at the lake. Come on, what are we doing?
What's next?
What's next?
Can I talk for a minute? Because I
Like, why y'all put me in the room with these 3 women?
the whole story you just told was doomed from the beginning. How do you can't fucking tie nobody up real quick? Like what? That don't go together.
It sounded good at the moment. Listen, I was 18. Was I 18? I was 19. I was 18 or 19. He was grown, so I trusted him with everything. And he was like, "Let me just." And it was, I don't know if it was belts or something. It was,
Not belts.
It was the hood. We had no belt in the hood. I don't even think we had no belt. Be still for a second.
Not tie.
Look, anxiety was up the roof.
That don't.
And I'm like,
Let me tie you up real quick.
real quick.
Right.
And listen, you know what? Okay, tell the truth. Hey, you know when you getting ate out real good, you run. So you can't run. I was like, I don't know if I like this. I'm kicking. I can't. Because I was trying to run. run. There was nowhere to run.
No,
I think
that was the point.
Yes, I'm sure that was his
point. That is the point. No, the tie up thing, because all I keep thinking is his mother, if we had done it at his house and he tied me up, his mother would have said, well, where y'all at? Help me with the groceries. Why ain't Pooh coming down to help too?
Right.
Like, there would have been so many questions. And he would have walked upstairs and said, well, what's going on? And
What's taking y'all so long?
she the type of mom that'll knock and then open the door,
Right.
and not wait for a response. And there I would be like,
You got all my good belts in here.
No. It was that old school. It was that old school bed. So it was like one to this arm, like a little one to this arm, one to this arm. Yes, girl, it was. Whew.
oh Lord.
It was. We did way too much in that little house. Let me tell you, because it was one of them matchboxes where you could, you say you could walk in the front door and go out the back door. It was little. Yeah, and every time she walked out the door, we used to pay my brother $20 to watch the front door. All of that. It was rough. That's probably why we just like.
That's why now they just like, we done all of that.
We just snug. The worst time is we went to the park and the dogs was in the back. We was trying to do it in the front. And the dogs just stared. I said, this is weird. There was something with your
That's no
dog.
worse than the babies being in the room. You know when them kids toddlers, sometimes they wake up and you be in the middle of it.
No, I never went through that. I never went through that because I never let mine sleep.
Look away, baby. Look away.
She said, look away. No.
Okay, wait. I had my first experience of getting walked in on.
Oh.
When?
The kids, like she
Like-
was big. Luckily, I'm so glad my kid's so dingy and naive. She did. She opened up the door and said, you left your lights on the inside of your car, and stood there and waited for me to say something.
So what position were y'all in? Because that's what matters when the kids walk in. The position.
I was luckily at the bottom and she couldn't see me.
Oh, good.
She couldn't see me.
But
But
they needed to hear you say, okay.
she needed to hear me say, get the hell out of my room. I'm busy. Like my kids don't even want to look at naked booty. So
No, because we have boys, and I think boys are different. Our youngest used to think for the longest time that me and Dad was always arguing and wrestling in the room.
It's adult wrestling.
And he would tell people, they always argue and wrestle. And we would be like, we don't be arguing. What are you talking about?
They fighting. They don't need to know.
I realized his brother told him, don't ever go in the room because Mom and Dad be wrestling.
God, how many times did he see y'all wrestling?
No, but he would. He
It
made
ain't
it sound like it was all the time. And I said, well, we don't fight at all. Me and Dad don't fight. And he's like, but y'all be arguing and wrestling. I hear y'all all the time.
Arguing. They talking that shit.
Said you. I was like, Daryl, he thinks we're in there fighting every time we had sex. And he'd be like, all the time.
Listen,
All the time.
Sometimes 2 and 3 times. I'd be like, why are you keeping count? Stop telling your teacher stuff.
He gonna keep it count. He gonna have Department of Human Services at the door. Like, why y'all arguing so much?
I need some new parents.
No.
These folks got domestic issues.
Listen, I think we walked in on
and
one time, and my daughter heard me and my husband once. I got walked in, I think it was that child both times, but when she was 2, I was with somebody, and I remember I was riding him. She walks in the room, and she just closed the door real quick, so I knew she saw it. And I go in the living room, I was like, baby, are you okay? And she was like, I just wanted a fruit roll up. I said, oh God, baby, you can have a whole box. You can have a whole box. So this was not her father I was with. Not okay.
Don't tell your daddy.
Yes. So, ever since then, I keep them doors locked.
I don't know why we didn't lock our door that day. That shit was funny though.
She was sad.
We laughed.
She witnessed something, that wrestling that she didn't understand. But luckily she was only 2. She didn't remember that.
Mom was like 13. She knew better.
I think because we always had a rule like when Mom and Dad have a closed door, don't come in.
We do too.
Knock.
Oh, no. See, and we have, our boys now are 21 and 29.
Oh.
So, like, even when they were younger, but I think the older son, our oldest son, he was the one who would be like, no, he knew. He'd be like, "No, you don't want to, don't ever go in there if you hear doing something," or you always knock and you wait. You literally wait for them.
Wait for a response.
Yes. Just don't walk indoors because you might see something. And even now, like D will be like, "Yeah, I know your mama nasty, right?" And they'll be like, "Not my mama." He'd be like, "Y'all need to read her books and y'all need to listen to this podcast. Your mama out there." And I'll be like, don't damage my like image of them, because I want them to have a healthy relationship with whomever they settle down with.
Right.
And if they're like, "Well, my mom did that. I don't really every time I think of somebody doing that, we don't want that type of experience. I want them to just like have fun. Just have fun and
Hold up. What is you talking about? I got news for you. There is no dude in this world who was fucking any other woman thinking about his mama.
Yeah.
like that.
Ain't
No, not like that.
Nothing like that. So they image ain't, but they look. They need to know their mama nasty as hell too. Like, look, this is what you need looking for.
Spit.
This is what you want your woman.
Courtney, did I make you spit?
Hey,
My whole drink is in the chair now. Don't stop wasting my wine, girl.
open conversation
Well, and I think
about everything. I'm like, look, this shit, and trust me, they know what you're doing because they getting it done to them.
I'm an angel.
She's an angel.
and that's funny.
Nasty.
Because my 20-year-old, oh my gosh, she goes to our poetry events now. She'll be 21 soon, so she feels like she's already grown. But she's in the background like, "Get it, mama, talk that shit." And I'm like, "Oh my God, shut up."
Yeah.
So she's cheering me on, like encouraging me to be freaky, filthy.
And I already told him the first time Courtney calls in for an event, she gets sick, that Treasure can co-host with
No,
me.
she will not.
I said,
But
get
she's
your
ready.
poem ready, baby.
She's like, "Where's the mic? Give it here." Like she doesn't write, she's not a poet, but she will definitely host. If nothing else, she will cheer me on. I mean, she's like, "Yes, talk your shit." I'm like, "Okay, girl." And I'm like, "Oh my God." Oh my God, someone pull her out of here.
And she can't hide because they look like twins.
So that's hard with them being older. It's good, that they're out the house and you can be more free and express yourself and more comfortable, but it's still hard because she's still my baby.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. I couldn't imagine having a girl. Like, it would be completely.
Two of them.
Got dogs, so you know what I mean? We talk dog shit. But having a little girl, oh man, she'd hate my guts. She would hate.
She'll love your draws. Lord have mercy.
Yeah,
Yes.
little girls.
They can't do nothing wrong.
Not my little girl.
Nasty like her mama.
No, she won't.
Mine are not yet. Thank goodness.
That's because a lot of they don't know yet.
Yes.
They're what, 15,
14 and 15 now. Thank
Yes.
goodness.
So they're not there yet, but they are a product of her. And that's what I definitely had to understand, that if I'm going to be this comfortable with my sexuality, I got to understand that my kid she's going to be too. So I got to be ready for that.
Yeah.
Prayer going on.
But it's going to get there. It's going to get there. Like, we be getting dressed to go out places. Honey, they little selves be like, "Get it, mama.
Yeah.
Get it." I said, what are you doing? Go sit down. But I cheer them on too. I'll be right there with them. And my husband cannot stand it. Go sit down. Stop dating everywhere.
But they can't ask us to be comfortable with who we are in order to express ourselves in the bedroom and not expect our children to be watching.
Right.
Don't get me wrong, there's limits to what we allow them to see. Well, for hers, mine, it don't matter. She's gone. It's too late. She is her mama's child, but I still have to make sure my marriage is, the first and foremost, is taken care of.
Yeah, I get that. I would think, women are a lot more comfortable with sexuality when it comes to their kids. It's cool with their sons. I mean, any dad most of us can talk to our boys about sex and all that stuff, but females, on the other hand, it's just a different story, I think, with men, because
and it probably should be. That's normal.
So yeah, her mama would have to go handle that because I'm about to kill everybody.
Oh, got right. Don't get me wrong. I'll shoot up some shit behind both of them. Right.
Oh yeah.
But
So now I have a question, lady. Last question that I want to ask for the night is like, what's your favorite sexual position? Like, what, like, what is that? Because I don't get missionary from both of you. Like,
all of them.
all of them.
All of them. No, but if I had to say a favorite, it's gonna be that rollover first thing in the morning, that spooning position. I guess it would be. Like, give me that. Let's roll over. Our eyes ain't even open. That is some of the best sex to me. Like, we both sleepy as shit, but let's get this in and get this day started. There's something about morning sex to me. Something about just rolling over and sliding in, especially if we done got it in the night before, so you know she already ready. So as soon as you roll over, yeah. So I think that would have to, if I had to say a favorite, and that's just because I like it from the back.
Right, that's what I'm about to say. So all of them, I'm gonna enjoy all of them. I want to hit all of them, hopefully in the one night. But if I had to pick the favorite, I'm gonna say from the back, only because I don't know, I'm nasty, so I be wondering what my booty look like when it's moving.
I think for her, I'm gonna speak. I think it's domination. She likes to be dominated, whether she likes it, because I'm the same way. We are both alpha females.
I'm gonna be in charge.
We are both alpha females, but when a man, shut up, she can probably she in charge of the girl. But when a man takes control, especially in a sexual situation, I think both of us are like, okay, yes, damn, you finally showed up type. You know, you showing me who you really are when we allow them to take that control. So I think for me, it's them dominating, you know, get that shit.
Dee, what about you? What's your favorite sexual position?
From the back, for sure. I like to slap that ass and watch it jiggle.
Like, yeah.
It was a toss up between that and you right, but yeah, I'm gonna have to go with that ass slapping from the back.
You can still slap that ass when they ride.
Yeah.
But it's a little different from the back. I get there. Yeah.
Them angles.
Them angles. But the moving and doing.
It's a scoop up like that.
Just
From the back. Yeah. Okay.
With it, you know.
You see that cheek come back.
Really get a good wind up in the smack from the back.
Yeah.
A little tougher, you know. You like this, you know, right? You kind of like, but
Too soft from this. Yeah. Like slow pitch softball.
Very great metaphor.
Oh,
what about you?
my favorite sexual position, I would say I like being on top. I like riding. I think that is the most powerful play right there. I don't care how I ride. If it's front, back, side to side, I just want to ride. That's just me. Like I love knowing that I control you that way. So
And some situations.
She's a dominatrix. She wants to control the no, ain't no little bit shit. You
and I love it sometimes, but like most time I want you to take control of me, because I feel like in every other aspect of my life I want to be in control of everything. Like that's why I know I can't work for anyone else, because I need to be in control of it. So in this moment in sex, I need you to take the reins. And you know what I mean? I know what I want, but I need you to know what I want and give it to me. Right. And then I'll return the favor. So I think that's what it is for me. I get up there every now and then, but it's going to be a special occasion if I ride.
she said your birthday, Christmas, Hanukkah.
Oh my God.
I left me kind of bad. I can't be up there like that.
Yo, ain't some shit though? Ain't that a bitch, man? Getting old and shit, you got pain.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just be trying to get in a little bit more, and it's like, shit, man, that's hurting.
Right.
I be like, I'm gonna put this Bengay and this knee brace on, so but we about to get it in.
I need to try that. He go like, baby, it's me like Bengay in here. He gonna be ready.
I'm a little minty.
Yes.
We gonna do this.
That's with the lady.
That's a new body wash. Just lay down shit.
Not being gay.
I'm not.
That's gonna be us when we get old for real. Because I'm like, baby, I need to get this. I just rub down. You need to come on. We got 20 minutes.
Right.
20 minutes before dinner come around. We in the
Okay, so listen.
Yeah, let me tie you up real quick.
All night. Let me tell you real quick. And it's crazy because that's how he sounds too. So serious. But listen, are we gonna come faster when we get old?
You think?
I'm asking. I don't know.
Don't you think it'll be drier?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's probably dry. That's why they got medicine for it now. So they got like the female equivalent to Viagra. Got
I don't know.
stuff
We
that-
just gonna go vegan when we turn 50. All the way. We vegan-ish now.
Yeah,
But when we
vegan
turn
turkey.
50, we gonna be straight vegan because that cucumber and that watermelon and all of that gonna keep her rejuvenated.
Absolutely. And apples enhance your orgasm too.
Yes.
Just FYI.
apples, huh?
Yeah, I always all different fruits. Apples.
You just gotta, I think you have to eat the right things. You gotta put the right things in your body for it to function the way that it's supposed to. And if your shit is dry or tastes funny or, you know
Like
what I mean?
if I'm in
That's what you eat.
expecting head, I don't eat meat the first 24 hours before.
Oh, pineapples, all fruit. Yeah.
I eat all fruit.
You gotta prepare for that. Drink water and flush that shit out. You can't be like taking shots of Hennessy and want to sit on somebody's face. Like that shit don't
And you
taste
can't
the
have a
same.
greasy ass pork chop either.
It don't taste the same. It
Be
don't.
like, wait, baby, it
Did
tastes
you-
like Lord.
Did you eat pork today?
Ah! See, I don't eat meat. I only eat seafood. But I eat a lot of vegetables and fruit. So
It makes a difference. I bet he don't have no problem going down there.
I don't.
Right.
Not even.
I don't.
Exactly. Our husbands are thankful too.
Ain't that it?
so we got to make sure that we emphasize that, ladies, watch what you eat.
Oh,
Absolutely.
we say it on stage all the time.
Mm.
That goes the same for men too.
Yes,
Absolutely.
it does.
Mhm. I've had women say that men who are vegan, their semen tastes different.
Absolutely. It
Uh-huh.
should be more clear too.
The color is different.
Yes, it's not supposed to be thick white.
Where were you when we were having the oral sex conversation? Because I literally said, like, if you drink more water, that was brought up, it does change the texture and the flavor of your fluid. And I'm a firm believer fruit does the body good, and that includes men for the flavor of your semen. It just does. Like,
Well, they say you are what you eat. They literally listen. If you're at home eating 50 pork chops, it's probably not gonna happen.
That is definitely a problem. But I mean, if it's a lot of saturated, processed, and
Hot
dogs, I
dogs.
can't deal with you.
You know,
But
processed hot
yes,
dogs.
it makes a difference. It does. And I mean, and I think in a marriage, a lot of times we get comfortable. That is the main place that we get comfortable with each other, and we start eating that crap and not paying attention to what we're putting in our bodies. And our mate understand that. So if you got little Tina who just went vegan or been vegan for 6 months, body right, and she tasting fresh, okay, you might need to adjust what you're doing so your husband quit wanting to taste her, actually pay attention to you. It makes a difference. I really think it does.
point well taken.
No, it
We'll
wasn't.
be checking in on y'all to see when that third party hits or the swinger section.
Well, we'll talk. Well, we're gonna talk anyway, but we'll talk in OKC in 2021. Like if a new book come out and it just seemed like it's something new with soy. It's something new with a
That's it.
you know what?
Thoughts have been elevated a little.
Right.
There's some clarity going on right now.
We already know it's not the vegetables.
We're gonna be clutching our pearls.
There's a new glow for the
I love it.
Got no.
Okay. We
The
like
glow gonna be on him. You see cheesing? He like, hell yeah.
He gonna be glowing.
Up already.
Well, listen, ladies, I, for one, need to thank you because I love these conversations. I love the openness. I love the fact that we're able to celebrate our sexuality, our marriages, and just having a great conversation. So thank you tonight for joining us. I am going to actually post information on Belle Publishing on the Urban Green Room's website. So I'll have all the information for anyone who wants to reach out to them, stay in the know around the events that they host, the poetry jams, the book expos, but also just to support. Like,
Thank you. Appreciate it.
businesses, and if you're an author looking for a publishing company to help guide you, I certainly would recommend that you connect with these two ladies. Like, it would be worth the conversation, and then hopefully worth your future in writing. So thank you, Kenyatta and Courtney. It has been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Same to you
I got
guys.
confession time.
Confession time.
I didn't I didn't what to expect, especially because, you know, the husband wasn't around. So I'm the only male in this conversation. I was like, well, okay, well, how is this dynamic gonna go? And I had a blast. I'll tell you what, this was good. This was good, ladies. I appreciate your time, and you guys were great. So we'll let y'all know when the clip post and all that. And I'll probably make a clip or two of this episode just to put a teaser out on IG.
No telling what we said.
Right.
We're gonna be like, oh shit. Every time we do a podcast,
It's like, did we really say that?
Courtney, like, you told all your business. I'm like, no, I didn't.
It's okay. They used to it now. So
I'll y'all be looking out for that.
we will. Thank you so much for the opportunity. We really appreciate it. The promotion, advertising. We will definitely be promoting you on our website as well.
You ladies have made my evening.
Great. So this is
I'll read a little bit of it. It's what gets the people hooked. It's called Wild Ride. It's from our new book, Dirty Dozen. We wrote this during quarantine too. We did this in probably 2 weeks. I think we put this book together in 2 weeks. I'll probably have nasty shit we had on our phone. So anyway, it's called Wild Ride, and it starts off, I want to fuck you like we're trying to stay warm. Plow through me like a Minnesota winter, as if our main vessel is poison and we have to crank it for the whole world to see. Let's release our inhibitions and allow our alter ego to lead. In the club or the car, the world is ours. I want to ride this wave until we're seasick. See, I ride it in my poem. I want the smell of my pussy to tickle your nose hairs and tempt your taste buds, causing a lump in your throat with just the scent, driving you insane at first lick. So if y'all want the rest of it, you gotta jump on our websites at bellepublishingllc.co and grab our newest copy, Dirty Dozen. We actually have a book deal going on for 3 of our books for $35 right now.
That was hot.
Yeah.
Yes, it was. It was very hot.
Y'all need to go get that book. Y'all need listen.
that one is only $10 too.
Y'all need to spice that up.
Yes, we're actually working on a small album somewhere to go in with that soon. We're gonna do poetry. For those that don't like to read, we'll be releasing a poetry album here soon. All erotic, of course.
Thank you for tuning into the Urban Green Room podcast. Let's keep the conversation going. Hit us up at urbangreenroom.net or on our Facebook or IG page.
I always follow them.
Tell us what you think about today's conversation. If there's a topic you want to discuss, let us know. And by all means, tell a friend. The Urban Green Room podcast, giving you something to talk about. Until next time, we out.